Hey there, this is Josh for the Search Engine Professionals, aka the Website Realtor. And today what I'm going to do is walk you through creating a new Google business listing slash my business listing, aka it's got many different names. Now, if you're coming from the ebook or if you're coming from a blog post, you would first want to go to, let's see, google.com/business. And you're going to want to sign in to a Google account. You can go sign in. I'm already signed in, so we'll skip that part. But essentially, you'll sign in to your Google account, and then you'll get sent here. Now, 3 different ways you can do it. If you are a restaurant, hotel, store, a storefront that actually services customers walking into your location, you would select storefront. Service area, as it says here, plumber, pizza delivery, taxi service, and so on, or a brand, as it's shown here. Most of the time, my customers are local businesses, so a plumber, painter, restaurant, and so on, so they're going to click on storefront. The options vary slightly in that a storefront, you have a physical address, and your address will show up in your listing. If you're a service area type business, then you put in your address, but you'll put in a radius of your service area. So if you service 100 square miles from your physical address, then your address won't physically show up, won't be seen in the Google listing, but you'll be included in a radius of searches. As an example, if somebody is searching from downtown Portland, and your business is located outside downtown Portland, but the radius includes downtown Portland, then your listing will show up as an option for them to choose. Brand being a business listing page just for your brand, but with no physical address necessarily. More for being found, as a perfect example is a sports team. So for this, I'm going to pick service area, actually, and show you and walk you through this, because this includes all the options possible. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to enter this information here, and then Google is going to do a search and find if there's any similar locations that they have either created automatically or have been created by somebody else before. So it's very important to watch for that after this is done. So I'm just going to put Acme Plumbing here, and it's going to be, I'll just make up an address here. I know one that's a legitimate address. So as you go through, it's actually finding the address here. And if you wanted to put a suite number in, I suggest you do it here, suite 123. And then Portland, Oregon, 97225. And your business phone number, you want to make sure that you have this in here and make sure that it is correct, because your phone number will be used later to verify your business listing as an option. So 222-1213. I'm just going to make something up here. Now, category, this is very important. You want to make sure you select the most accurate category for your business, because this is going to later affect how your business listing is presented to possible searchers when they're looking for a plumber. So, plumber. Obviously, if you were a plumber supply store, you would put plumber supply store, but you want to make sure that it is as close to as possible. Now, here is the kind of the fork in the road. If you are a plumber where people don't come to your location, you go out and service them, then you want to say that you deliver goods and services to my customers at their location. You say yes to that. If you are a brick and mortar storefront restaurant kind of deal, then you would say no. I'm going to say yes to this because this is normally the best way to approach your listing. So now that you have said yes to it, you're going to say a zip code that you service if you have a small service area, or within a certain miles of your business. So let's just say 25 miles. And you see here, this is what I was talking about earlier. You can also say that you do service customers at your business address. So this is kind of the best of both worlds. I normally suggest most people put in a radius as a service area and check this box, because you see that your address will be hidden from the public if your box isn't checked. So in my case, I service small businesses, but they don't come and see me at my office, so I wouldn't check this. But I would recommend, if you do have a brick and mortar shop, even if customers don't see you, but you do actually have a storefront, I recommend that you do this, because it is best of both worlds. So now it's going to confirm all this information, make sure this is correct. If it's not, fix it. And obviously, I'm hoping that you are the authorized person to manage the business and you agree to the terms of service. You should read that. Very important. And so it's going to create a Google Plus page, which is also the Google My Business listing, which is also the Google Business listing, which is also the Google Places listing. All of those terms are synonymous with each other. Continue. And we're going to go to the verification step. So now what they're going to do is they're going to mail a postcard to your physical address, and it takes 1 to 2 weeks to get it, and that is the final verification step that actually verifies the address is real, and that will actually publish your listing. Your listing will not publish until it is verified. So I'm going to hit mail. You can put in a person's name there if you want. Attention, Chester. So obviously they're going to mail it, and that's not a real address, so it won't actually arrive anywhere, but that's fine. So now we are at the your actual listing. So this is what you see as the editor and owner of it. So when you get here, you're going to fill in as much information as possible, because the more complete the listing, the more it's going to sell your products or services to your customers when they find you. And I highly recommend that you go through this wizard on your own time, because it is a good introduction to it if you have never used the Google business listings before. So just kind of going through everything here, this is the profile picture. Normally it's the company logo or a person's face, something that conveys the business. And this little blurred out background here is actually called the, what are they calling it now? It's not your profile picture, but it's a listing picture. So you could put the picture of your storefront, or a picture of your products, picture of the inside of your store, whichever you want, but something that is friendly, inviting, and that will actually help the customer want to click on your listing prior to others. So what you're going to do is you're going to go through and you're going to make sure that you add all this information in here. The more the better. So the website, plumbing, and you want to make sure you add hours. So if you're open, most plumbers are open pretty extreme hours, so I'm just going to put this all in here. Just for the sake of it, I'm going to put 24 hours. Let's say this is an emergency plumber that I'm, that we're working for here. But you can put 9 to 5, 8 to 6, whatever. So this listing, so then that shows all of your hours. And now we're going to go through photos. This is a very important part. And again, definitely go through this little wizard that pops up here. It's very helpful. So your profile picture is that big blurred out picture. So you want to put, like I said, picture of your products, the inside or outside of your store, that kind of a thing. Your logo, that's going to be that little circle in the upper left. Definitely want to have that in there. And add as many photos as you can. If you are a brick and mortar, where you receive customers, a restaurant, a hotel, you want to make sure you have inside photos and exterior photos, photos of the person at the front desk or the the maitre d' or whatever, photos of your chefs or your crew or whatever, It's very important that you add all these in here. And then once you're done, then all this will be updated, and you'll see all your photos here. And then you will be able to, once you get your verification postcard, it will give you a link on there to go, which you'll enter in a series of numbers, and then your listing will be verified. And all the rest of these wonderful options here will be unlocked for you. Insights is actually going to tell you what broad demographic information about your visitors, where they came from, their gender, other bits and pieces of information, which does help you in terms of marketing. And then reviews, probably the number one most useful feature for your business listing is the reviews, because you want your customers, assuming they're happy, to come to your business listing and leave a review, because the more the better. You want them to give you 4.5, 5 stars. They want you to, you want them to have, you want to have a lot of feedback from your customers, because that is really the number one thing that's going to sell a person to click on your listing and call you first, is by the reviews of other people. So it's very important. And then it's also created a Google Plus profile, which is Google's social network. Not required. Definitely would, it's always good to promote yourself in any way possible, so you could take advantage of that. And then Google Analytics, which is essentially a statistics system for websites, including your business listing, which I'm sure we'll go over that in a later tutorial. But for the moment, this is all that really matters. So once you get verified and you're done, then you have a business listing showing up when somebody searches for, Portland plumber, as an example like this. If I could spell it here. So this is where it's going to show up, right here. Ideally, you want to show up in the top 3, because that's where people are going to, that's statistically the most trusted place. But if you look at all of the results, you see them all here, and you can see all the little dots. And so your listing will show up here. And then as you click on it, you can see here's the photos they've added, the reviews they've gotten. Looks good. And then looks like they don't have their information plugged in here. There's no ad site, there's no website or hours. Let's see if I can find one who put, yeah, here we go. So it's going to tell you that they're open today, and here's their hours for the week, their phone number, address, website. It'll tell you how to get there, all the reviews, and it's going to look similar to this. So there you go. Have fun, and I'll see you in the next video.